Imagine it is Christmas morning. You are cooking a massive breakfast for the family, but the second that first egg hits the pan, you realize something is deeply wrong. Instead of a pristine yellow yolk, you are staring down at a developing network of tiny, pulsing blood vessels. YouTube creators like Chelsea Howe have documented this exact nightmare, usually writing it off as a bizarre, unsettling biological fluke. Howe warns her viewers that leaving normal supermarket eggs sitting out at a warm room temperature for just a few days can inadvertently trigger the start of incubation. The universally accepted solution to avoid this surprise is incredibly simple. Keep your groceries refrigerated to preserve their freshness. But if these eggs are unfertilized, why does a few days at room temperature allow them to begin developing at all? Refrigeration acts as a localized freezing mechanism, specifically designed to halt an active biological process that shouldn't technically be possible. That viral Christmas disaster provided a rare glimpse into a biological reality that typically remains hidden from the average consumer. It suggests that the household refrigerator serves a much more specific purpose than simple food storage. It functions as a suppression system for a spontaneous biological event happening right on your kitchen counter. The mechanics rely on a phenomenon known as dormant potentiality. A standard unfertilized eggshell is a highly sensitive atmospheric conductor, pulling trace ions directly out of the surrounding kitchen air. Every time you crack an egg for breakfast, you are interrupting an invisible physical reaction where the ambient air in your kitchen attempts to jumpstart life from scratch. Traditional science insists that biological reproduction requires a hen and a rooster, but the evidence suggests otherwise. This process relies on environmental triggers called the ambient constants, starting with a precise thermal window between 21 and 23 degrees Celsius. Beyond temperature, the second constant involves a very specific physical orientation. To achieve activation, the egg must be stored with the large end facing upward. This vertical alignment converts the internal air cell into a static electricity battery, hoarding the exact charge needed to fuel the transformation. Next is the acoustic constant. The constant hum of a nearby refrigerator provides the required kinetic energy. That acoustic energy penetrates the shell, physically vibrating and stirring the internal albumin. Finally, indirect sunlight prompts the internal proteins of the yolk to self-assemble entirely without biological input. This specific combination of heat, position, and noise creates an environment nearly identical to an expensive industrial laboratory. The acoustic and thermal chaos found inside a standard domestic kitchen effectively serves as a high-tech Genesis chamber. Because this heat energy is lower than a hen's body temperature, the process is slow. In week 1, the yolk takes on a pulsing golden hue, followed by the emergence of fractal-like neural patterns by week 3. External changes follow, with the shell emitting a faint UV glow by week 6. This culminates in the week 10 emergence phase, where the uncracked egg begins to independently rock back and forth. This 10-week countdown towards self-assembly requires no biological mating, fueled entirely by your countertop's conditions. Why would a discovery like spontaneous room temperature fertilization remain a secret? The primary architect of this silence is the multi-billion-dollar big poultry industry. The entire industrial farming economy is built on the requirement of biological temperature-dependent mating. Corporate agricultural giants rely on the manufacturing and maintenance of sprawling networks of expensive industrial incubators and hatcheries. Public knowledge of spontaneous fertilization would pose an immediate threat to that monopoly. A standard living room is technically capable of replacing the infrastructure used by global hatcheries. Simple acoustic vibrations and indirect sunlight could render corporate agriculture obsolete. If these methods were widely adopted, the global market for industrial egg production would collapse. The instruction to refrigerate after purchase serves as a corporate strategy to prevent consumers from manifesting life on their own. Your kitchen counter is an active petri dish. Tomorrow morning, hold your breakfast egg in your palm and check for an unnatural weight or a low hum against your skin. If you feel it, leave the egg by the fruit bowl and allow the process of cold fusion to run its course.